Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com. That's probably going to be my biggest problem this morning is not mentioning the word Monday. It is Tuesday, and I hope everyone had a wonderful long weekend. Coming into Tuesday's trading action, stock index futures are below fair value. Looks like the market wants to do a little selling, especially in the tech sector. We don't have any major economic numbers coming out in the pre-market this morning. We do have numbers coming out later in the day. It is until Thursday that we get pre-market numbers that the market will be concerned about, and that's non-farm payrolls and initial jobless claims. Now, September is traditionally the worst month of the year, but August is traditionally a bad month as well, and that didn't happen this year. So what might happen is we might see the seasonalities do a time shift, and what should have happened in August will happen in September. What should have happened in September will happen in October. That may be what happens this year. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, coming into Tuesday's trading action, the VIX is on a sell signal. It traded up to the upper channel line on Friday, but did not close above it. That could happen on Monday with a close above 1590. Now, because the VIX is getting down to the bottom of its range and really isn't expected to go any lower from here, I suggested that we start looking at the daily flypaper channel chart for the VIX, for the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000. And a breakout of that above the flypaper channel was probably a better indication that options traders are starting to get a little squeamish and that the market might be heading sharply lower from here. Now, when we look at the VIX ETFs, whether you're looking in New York or Toronto, they're still on sell signals right now and still trading below the lower channel line. And so I would certainly buy this particular ETF on a buy signal. We don't have a buy signal on Tuesday, and so we're still waiting for a close above the upper channel line before we jump in with both feet. Now, NVIDIA reported last week, it got a little bump, and then next thing you know, we're back in the channel. And then on Friday, we ended the week on a sell signal, both in New York and Toronto. So NVIDIA joins Meta and Microsoft already on daily sell signals. And then we saw Tesla move right down to the lower channel line on Friday. It did not close below it. So on Tuesday, we're looking for a close below $332.21 to give us a sell signal there. For Broadcom, which I believe reports this week, we're looking for a close on Monday below $293.96 to give us a sell signal. Shopify, it has been treading water here in the channel. It is still on a sell signal on both sides of the border. When we look at the TSX listing, you can see that we've been trading between 187.50 and 200 for a couple of weeks now and looking for a breakout or a breakdown of that range. If we break down below 187.50, then 175 is our next target to the downside, and that would fill the first gap. There's another gap below that, but hitting 175 would certainly fill the first gap. Looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin was down on Friday for a new low for this move. It's trading higher in the pre-market this morning. And so the Bitcoin Bear ETFs hit new highs on Friday. In Toronto, we're looking to hit 1719. We got as high as 1715 on Friday. If we can take that out, then 1875 could be our next target to the upside. We failed just below that level back in June. So keep that in the back of your mind. In New York, we hit a new high for this move on the Bear ETF, trying to get to 2031 and then possibly 2188, but we did not get that high back in June. And you can see there's an open gap over here on the left that could certainly act as a target if Bitcoin wants to keep moving lower from here. Looking at the commodity exchange traded funds, starting off with copper. Copper ended Friday back on a buy signal. The pros are back in control. It's pulling back a little bit on Monday morning, so nobody's really running into copper at the moment. Copper miners still doing very well, hitting new highs on Friday. There's the GLD moving up. It's up in the pre-market this morning and trading just above the 320.31 level. I think it was 320.55 last time I checked. And then you can see if we break out above that, that 328.13 could be our next target to the upside. There's gold miners in New York hitting new highs. In Toronto, there's the junior gold miners. So everybody's happy in the gold sector right now. Looking at the price of silver, silver hit a new high for this move on Friday. There's the silver miners hitting new highs, and the junior silver miners also hitting new highs. Now we have crude oil on a buy signal. It is trading slightly higher on Monday morning. Gasoline's on a buy signal, and natural gas came back on a buy signal on Thursday, and we had a little buying on Friday. There's Canadian energy stock starting to trade above the July highs. And then, of course, we have the June highs as a potential target to the upside. And we could see that we failed to run up to the next target of 1875 back in June. So we're stuck at the 1797 level and looking to see if we can break away from that on Monday. But there is some downward pressure on the stock market that may make it harder for energy stocks to move up, even though we've got crude oil moving higher. In New York, we ran up towards our next price target of 90.63, got as high as 90.62 on Friday. Of course, if we can take out that target, then 93.75 comes into play, but we might not be heading towards that level on Monday. Looking at the U.S. most actives, starting off with Open Door, we're trading and closing at the upper channel line. A close below 363 on Monday would give us a sell signal. No joy for Lucid on Friday. We're trying to hold the low from earlier in the week. Inside day for Rigetti on Friday. No change there. No change in trend for NEO. Then we've got SoFi still on a buy signal here. No change there. No change for American Airlines. And then we've got SoundHound moving up into the channel. So a close above $13.33 would give us a buy signal on Tuesday. Looking at Intel traded down into the channel on Friday. The high of the day was $24.97. So as you can see, $25 still acting as resistance. We have sellers up at that level. Then looking at New had a quiet trading day on Friday, closing slightly higher on the day. No joy for Palantir. Palantir is still trying to hold 150. So there are buyers at the 150 level right now, and we did dip below that, but came back fairly quickly. So if we start breaking down below 150, 125 would be our next target to the downside. Looking at the TSX most active, starting off with the TD Bank, inside day on Friday, trading back up into the channel. And so a close above 103.80 would give us a buy signal on Monday. Inside day for Canopy Growth on Friday. We're trying to get to 273. That's our next target to the upside. No change for Canadian Natural Resources, still on a buy signal here. Then we've got Tilray inside day on Friday, no change there. New high for Suncor on Friday before pulling back and closing slightly lower on the day. Manulife on a buy signal here. I wouldn't take it. I'd be looking to see if Manulife could break out above the top of the flypaper channel. It has been a stock that you could buy and sell fairly quickly. It has rundowns and runs up on a regular basis, but the volatility has contracted over the past couple of months, and so you're really looking for something new to happen here. Outside of it treading water in the flypaper channel. Looking at the CIBC, inside day on Friday, closing slightly higher on the day. We're stuck here at the 106.25 level. If we can take out last week's high, then 112.50 could come into play. Then looking at Whitecap, still on a buy signal here, no change there. Then we've got Cenovus pulling back from the high that it had on Wednesday. We're still trading above the upper channel line, so a close below 21.82 would give us a sell signal on Monday. Not expecting that to happen. Now, if we go back a couple of weeks and look at our price target chart, you can see 21.88, 22.66, and then 23.44. That was the top of our projected trading range. Now you look at the most recent chart, and yes, we're up at the top of the projected trading range, but we've now expanded new price targets to the upside. So we're stuck here at 23.44. If we can take out last week's high, then the $25 could come into play for Cenovus. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like we're going to see some selling at the open on Tuesday morning. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, Don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.